Hello and welcome to the Big Arsenal discussion. I'm your host Giles, and joining me today we've got Robbie from Arsenal Fan TV, Amanda from the Gooner Girls podcast, Kelvin from the Black Scarf Movement, and Dan from Goonersphere and You Are My Arsenal. Okay guys and girls, let's talk about Sanchez. He's had loads of plaudits, especially in this last month, and the latest one is, could he be as good as Suarez, or is he the new Luis Suarez? I'm going to start with you, Amanda. Last season, we had a bid of 40 million and a pound rejected. Everyone was quite pissed off by it. This season, we've spent less money, and we've got possibly as good a player. What have you made of Alexis Sanchez's start to his Arsenal career?
Oh, I think all of us have made, what's the word? I always say this on my podcast, his tenacity is phenomenal. His work rate is phenomenal. His passion is phenomenal. Can't fault him. If anyone's faulting Sanchez, they don't know nothing about football, because he's just brilliant. There are times he gives the ball away a little bit too much, but he always fights to get it back. Regarding whether he's going to be the new Suarez, I don't know, because I've never compared players to players. I'll leave that to you lot to discuss, but I love him. I just think without him in the team, we haven't got much. Because his passion, I just don't even know how to put it, how he wants to win. He looks Arsenal through and through already. He's only been here a couple of months. I love him. Completely happy with the way he plays, completely happy with his passion, and I think that he's only going to get better. Let's keep him injury free. We've played him a lot. That's a little bit of an issue. We have played him a lot, but he wants to play, and you can see that the other night when he came off the pitch and he was so angry with the rest of the team because 3-0 up, he's done his job. But no, very pleased with him.
Kelvin, I'll come to you.
Yeah,
you've seen a lot of great players in a down year.
Yeah, and he's probably had the biggest impact in the shortest space of time than any player that we've seen over there. It took Bergkamp, I think it was about 7 games to get his first goal, and I think probably it was a similar sort of amount. And we all know how good they were. But Sanchez has come on and done it right from the very start. And as long as he remains injury free, things can only get better for him, and hopefully his passion that he's got for playing in that shirt will rub off on some of the other players. And I know that there's been comparisons recently with Suarez, but he can't compare. I mean, Suarez has been in the Premier League far longer than Sanchez has. It's too early to do stuff like that. I just know one thing is that Sanchez obviously doesn't have the hunger for the game that Suarez has, because Sanchez hasn't bitten anybody yet.
Nice.
I told you where you were going to go with that one.
When he said that hunger, I just knew he was up there. Robbie.
Oh, you know, he's world class. You know, that's what he is. He's a world class player. I remember watching him even in the World Cup. That game when Chile played Brazil. He was the best player on the pitch. Him and Neymar. And he's just simply world class. He leads by example, like Amanda says. If he loses the ball, he tracks back, tries to win it back. His skill level is absolutely unbelievable. The skill of, I mean, that goal against Anderlecht where he hit the free kick and it, you know, hit the wall. Most other players would have tried to have controlled it, played it to another player. He had one thing in his mind, bang, straight back in, straight shot. And I think the comparison with Suarez is a good one, because they're very similar players in the fact that they will fight. Once they're on that pitch, they will fight to the death to try and win a game. And it's not just skill with both of those players, with Suarez and with Alexis. They've both got skill to burn, but their work rate and passion as well. And that's why I think the comparison is a very good one. And you know what? If we can get all our other players around Alexis playing to form, Ramsey come back to form, Theo come back to, if these guys can come to form and we defend properly, we've got a really great team, you know, because he is world class. And you know, I'm really excited. You know, he's already paid back his money. I mean, those goals he scored against Besiktas, which got us into the Champions League alone, paid back the fees. So for 30 million now, he's looking like, you know, if you look at Di Maria, cost nearly 60 million, great player, but in comparison, you know, he's paid back the money.
I think Kelvin's right what he said. We'd love it to rub off on the rest of our players. all of them have his passion. Phenomenal, be brilliant, and I think it must rub off his enthusiasm as well, and the fact that you're right, he's world class. We're very lucky to have him.
And
But
to
that's
think
why
Giles,
he was upset.
to think Giles, hold on one second, to think Giles wanted Balotelli instead.
Dan, Wenger said recently that there's a different kind of hunger when you've got South American players.
Yeah.
I mean, you compared him with Suarez, Suarez, but even if you look at someone like Diego Costa.
Diego Costa, you got Aguero as well. Some of the best strikers that have plied their trade in the Premier League the last few seasons have been South American. He has got a point.
Warriors, aren't they?
Yeah,
the Warriors.
Look at they were trying to justify why Suarez was biting. Apparently, it was the tactics they used on the streets when they played with substitutes for football.
I'm not justifying it, but that's how they were brought up.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, we could chew on that subject for ages.
Hello. Boom boom.
No, thank you. But
There's something to get our teeth in.
oh, come on, we could do this all day. Apparently, one of the players said that Sanchez, he has to be pulled away from training because he wants to do extra training and then some more training. And what worries me with that is his fitness. I mean, he's playing every game so far. He could have been rested for like 20, 30 minutes in certain games, and he's not been because he's so vital. But Suarez last season, when he was the main reason, he was the fulcrum of Liverpool. Without him, they would have been 4th, 5th, in my humble opinion. But he set up chances, he scored, he got 30-odd goals. Sanchez is becoming that player. And there may be a little bit of over-reliance at the moment, but exactly what Robbie said, when we've got all our players back, if that ever happens, but if we do, what an attacking lineup we've got.
The Sanchez issue and his fitness and overplaying him and his overtraining. Kelvin, is there a worry? This is his first season. He's never played around the Christmas period before. You know, is there a worry that we could, you know, overexert him and around that period he gets an injury, and then if he does get an injury without us playing at full strength and whatnot, is there a worry that, you know, it could go?
Well, you could get injured at any time, not necessarily just around the Christmas period. But I think it's just his enthusiasm for the game is going to keep him going. You know, he apparently runs on the pitch when it's training, and he runs off it again at the end of it. You know, he's so enthusiastic to be out there playing for us, and I think that will carry him through the cold winter months.
He's got that hunger, and I think that point that you guys were saying about South American players or Wenger made, you know, when you look at those South American players at the moment, Aguero, Suarez when he was there, you know, Costa, they do seem to have that hunger that they brought from the streets. That, you know,
it's not given.
It's not a given. Yeah, maybe some of our players need to really look at, you know, some of the English players need to look at that hunger, because, you know, apparently they said that, you know, when Alexis was a kid, he used to flip somersaults for money and things like that. I mean, and you just see that with him. He's just like, as soon as he gets on that pitch, he's just a man transformed. It's like, this is what I do. And this, you know, and I really love his attitude. And I just hope, you know, I think we need to build a team around him.
That's a very good point, because, I mean, Özil was the man that we should build a team around, wasn't it, Amanda? But do you feel, I mean, who...
They're different players.
They're different players, but I mean, is Özil the one player that can see the picture?
Yes, his vision is
and unleash and release someone like Sanchez. Because you watch Arsenal games and you can see players like Sanchez and Welbeck are making runs and they're looking for the ball. They're looking for someone to play with. And it's just not happening.
The period that Özil was fit last season, we were talking about this earlier. The runners weren't there. Theo all season gone. Ramsey, who was a willing runner, he was injured. He didn't have anyone to give the ball to. So you see all this little ticky-tacky around the box. He had nothing that he could supply the killer pass with. Now he's injured, and Theo was coming back. It's like, you know, one's coming in, one's coming out. We need runners.
So annoying.
He needs runners to play the game. At Real Madrid, he had them in abundance. Now he hasn't got them, and now he's injured. When he comes back,
you got Walcott, Sanchez, Özil.
It makes me dribble.
I know, but it doesn't make everybody dribble though. A lot of people don't like Özil.
You know, the only thing with Sanchez, right, is that when everybody is fit, where do you play him?
Left.
And to me, I personally think to get the best out of Alexis, he has to have a free role. to roam. You know, I'd give him that role because
But Özil
anywhere
has
on the
that
pitch he's effective. But I don't know what you.
role. Özil
I'd
has
play
that
him on
role.
the left, like Amanda said.
Because I know you're
Sanchez
not
on
the
the
biggest
right.
fan of Özil.
No, I'm
Oh,
not, because I think for me the jury's still out on him. But you know, as we were saying earlier on, I think he missed Theo Walcott
Oh, God,
because,
didn't
as
he?
we said, you know, he needs runners, and there was nobody running onto for him to pass off to. But a player of his ability should be able to work wonders elsewhere. You know, Bergkamp was able to do it. You know, if Thierry Henry wasn't in the position to do something, or Ian Wright wasn't, there'd be someone else that he'd be able to lay the ball off to. He would find somebody else to lay the ball off to. Whereas Özil, for me, doesn't seem to be doing that sort of thing. You know, so for me, the jury's still out on Özil. I'm not a great fan, like others are.
Are you not a
but-
great fan because of his body language and the way he looks? Because that is his demeanour.
Well, it could be.
And I think that's a little bit unfair because
It's-
that's just his demeanour.
It's just, I don't know. There's just something about him that I'm just.
What
not
doesn't
comfortable
help
with.
as
See, I'm the
well, if you
opposite.
any player now is going to be compared to Sanchez, and Sanchez who's running here, there, and everywhere to training to back. Anyone's going to be compared to him, and Özil looks lazy. Any player looks lazy compared to Sanchez. It's an unfair comparison in a way, but Özil hasn't.
Özil looks lazy compared to me sometimes.
You know, it's
But you see, I agree.
Okay.
It's a perception.
It is.
yeah.
All right. Well, let's just bring this segment to a close. It's a subject that we could talk about forever. What do you think? I mean, do you think that Alexis Sanchez is our new Luis Suarez? How good do you think he could become? Why don't you leave your comments in the box below? Thanks.
Listen, hold on. Is this what? Is this? Hold on, wait a minute. We're 12 points behind the title. Is this the split in a nutshell?